Hey. Alright, let me sneak in another stream in between day job and dinner. My name's Eric. I'm making software that lets you talk to these characters with animated faces using your own voice with speech recognition, picking up like what you're saying, and then that character is going to talk back to you. Alright, so let's demo. I always like to start the stream with a demo, and this is what I got done yesterday. So let's go to the other screen, speech screen. So there's this new screen for collecting recordings for speech, and it lists all of the dialogue from a spiel, which is this, I don't know, I won't explain it. It lists all the dialogue that's available in a certain context, and you can pick the ones that you want to record. Okay, so I had that before, and I also had yesterday, I had this select all and select none. The thing I added in yesterday's session is this dialogue. It gets a list of all the characters that are in the spiel, Jerry and Carla, and you can pick, which one you want to record for. And there's also this that have not been recorded option, which could pick out just the lines that haven't been recorded as opposed to all of them. Alright, so I hit select, and here it's selected all the lines that were Jerry's. That's one of the characters. And if I go and pick another one, like Carla, it just picks her. I can pick all characters, and I just get all the lines. And this last option, even though it's here, it just doesn't do much now because all of the lines have not been recorded. This button does nothing at all. So today I've got just about 50 minutes, 50, and I'm going to use it to just write a function that creates a UUID, or a unique identifier, for each of these lines. And my scheme is as follows. We make a hash code that combines the name of the spiel. It's kind of like the document name or the name of this script that might apply to one situation in a game or visual novel or whatever the multimedia piece is. Okay, so it combines this spiel name, character name, the emotion, and the line of dialogue, and it uses that to create a UUID. So those four things. And a nice thing about that is I don't have to store a foreign key to another object someplace. Now, is that a good idea? In my head, I think it is. We shall see. I kind of like the idea that it just picks it up based on do all these things match or not. It might be a mistake, but I'm going to start with that. Okay, so let's get to work. Speech audio index. For the moment, I think let's just create this function that will get this UUID, and I don't know quite how it's going to get refactored into the files later, but I don't need to know because I can do that refactoring later. Speech ID util. Okay, I also have GitHub Copilot on. I'm going to give Copilot a chance to write this whole function for me. And then I'll have to consider very carefully what it actually outputs and if it's going to be correct for my needs. Okay, so the things that it will use are Yeah, that's C# syntax. Speech, sorry, spiel name, string, close, character name, emotion, what does it say, spiel emotion, dialogue. Okay. Based on spiel name, character name. Now let's just go to the same variables. All right, have at it. Yes, that's always true about hash functions, but go ahead. Why don't you just take your shot? Okay, maybe the way I need to do this is put this up above. Okay, and then we'll come down here. Yeah, not useful. Okay, I'll do it myself. So I've got code in a different project that does something pretty similar. This is an open source library I wrote called Web Encryption at Risk, or WER. And inside of Keygen, got this. Generate credential key bytes. Yeah, this is starting to get to it. And it doesn't have to be secure. So I could use a non-secure hashing algorithm, but thing is, web crypto is built in. I don't need an import, and I don't need to write any crypto functionality or hash functionality. So I might as well use it. And it's fast enough. It's plenty fast. So let's see, generate credential key bytes. Let's take a look at that. In fact, I'm just going to copy this over. Okay, I don't even care about the salt. It doesn't have to be secure. Yeah, let's just leave that there. Yeah. And let's see if I can get it to write this for me, but if not, I know how to do it. Okay, this will be string. Go ahead. Give it a shot. Okay, let's see how it does. So this is incorrect. You have no idea how long it's going to be. Although, will I get out of bounds if I go past 64? Is this just an initial length? I'll test that. Okay, so I think it does work. Although, no, it just doesn't write it. Okay. So I'll just set a maximum on it. Say 124. Actually, what I could do is just figure out the length from this. Okay, so const byte count equals spiel name length plus, yeah, that's it basically. I'll put it in the same order as the parameters. Okay, and then this will be byte count. I guess let's have a separator character to avoid some cases where two values might seem to be identical but are not. Const separator car. Actually, I was going to do 0. And if I'm doing const for that, I might as well make one for emotion. Yep, good for you. I was wondering if it would figure out if I wanted to multiply it by 3, and it did. So, nice job. Okay. I think I can just do, you know what, it's just 0. That's it, it's just 0. So in that case, let's do separated car, and then just change that to 0. There we go. j equals 0. Okay. That should do it. Then I have to no, I don't know. Yeah, I don't need to. Okay, so this would have created like a more secure set of bytes returned that you can't figure out, you know, what the original thing was, but that's not what I need. So this I can get rid of. I don't need it anymore. Okay, this thing. I will need to get subtle. Okay, how do I get subtle? Const subtle equals, what is it? Give me another suggestion. Okay, no, I'll go find it myself. Protected crypto. Get rid of this guy. Oops. Got deleted too much stuff. And then this has to be an async. And this has to be a crypto key. That's not that great. Because this is not going to be something I can store, that crypto key. But if it's a extractable, I need to find a different function, I think. Okay. There, okay, there, okay, now I'm getting it. So I got my buffer here. Crypto subtle, okay. What is it actually returning? An array buffer. Okay. Alright, let me see how well this works. I think the best way to test it out is in the web browser. Okay, so spiel in character. I'll just say Jerry for now. And then over here we're going to have the emotion. So there's 3. Yeah, 3. And then do what I want. Yeah. Cleaning up my imports. Okay. That doesn't help me because it's just returning a promise. Oops, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, so it gives me a 20-byte array. That's my hash. So that's pretty good. I wonder about converting that to a string. So those won't all be printable characters, so I'll need something like a base 64 encoder. And once I have a base 64 encoder, you know what? I bet you I don't need SHA-256. Web crypto hash. I bet I could do it with like SHA-128 perhaps. Thanks. No, stick with 256. Okay. Also have some base 64 encoding stuff in here somewhere. Really? I thought I already had that. Okay. Target. Does it need to be S5? What are the targets I can use for TSC? Let's see. Well, let's see this one. ES2015. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and add in tests for this. I believe I already wrote some in the other project. Yep. Okay, so the trick here with that test is that in the command line environment, instead of the web browser, you have to have something defined to handle the base 64 functions that the web browser has. And Node.js environment does have that, thankfully. Oops. Add directory. Mock base 64. Okay, so that is probably going to work just fine. Go back to speech ID util. Hash equals bytes to base 64. And then just change this to a string, and let's see what we get. Yeah. It's a nice little ID here. Here, let's change this a little bit. Let's say I do what I want. Yeah, and you get a different one. That, and you get a different one. And let's see, how many bytes is that? Do you think I could chop off the equal in the end? Yeah, maybe not. So I'll go into Scratch. Just kind of curious how large this is. Okay, 10, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 28 bytes. Okay. Cool. So that's pretty good. It's pretty good. So now that I wrote that little bit of code, let me do the backwards thing and consider what the actual design should be. Okay. Oh, my brain is just trash right now. This is not the best task to undertake. So what are the requirements? Store speech audio associated with lines of dialogue to record. Indexed so it can be retrieved later. Oh, my brain's breaking. Okay, let's start putting the solution out. Number 2. Keep and index store that maps an auto incrementing ID to a line of dialogue. The store ID as a foreign key in the in a new speech table store. To an audio buffer waveform associated with the line of dialogue. Speech table store. Shows how a spiel binds to the audio buffers. Okay. Number 2, the way that I started to work on. Store audio buffers with unique hash. Based on spiel name, character, emotion, and dialogue. The autocomplete is reminding me something that might be useful. But it's not actually true. The audio would be different for different spiels. Although just for kicks, for brainstorming, if I remove the spiel name, then that second statement does become true. And it is potentially a benefit. Because that would mean, like, say you recorded the character saying one thing one place, and you wanted them to say the same thing elsewhere. They will just pop in as dialogue that you already have. It's a nice little feature, actually. Because there's going to be so many scenes where there's common phrases like, yeah, okay, and then the emotions can be a distinguishing thing for that line delivered in different ways. So there could be angry, yeah. There could be evil, yeah. There could be confused, yeah. That's interesting. It's actually not bad. So in this case, this store schema looks like key, let's see, no, key value pair store. Anyways, you know what? I'm gonna do that thing where you halfway figure out something and then it starts kicking around your head, and maybe later on you've got the full solution. This is a good place to stop the stream. I got the work done that I set out to do. It wasn't too much. Didn't have a lot of time, to be honest. But yeah, it's a good place to stop the stream. Stop the stream now!